The United Nations is working out a plan to deal with the massive hydropower dam just south of Sudan's border in Ethiopia. The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam sits on the Blue Nile River in the western part of the country. And while the dam isn't entirely new, filling its reservoir is. Egypt is calling it an existential threat to their water supply. That's because the Nile provides more than 90% of the fresh water for the country's rapidly growing population. CBS News foreign affairs analyst Pamela Falk joins me now with more. Pam, great to have you on. So the location of this dam isn't directly on the Nile River. It's actually on an offshoot hundreds of miles away. Explain to us a little bit more about this reservoir, the dam, and this ongoing controversy that's become more acute recently.
Yes, Lana, this is absolute power politics. It's Sudan, Ethiopia, and Egypt slugging it out for the rights to this water, basically. And so you've got two very strategic and important U.S. allies, three countries in economic distress. And Ethiopia is building what is the largest dam called the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam and the biggest hydropower plant in Africa. Now, yes, as you say, it is on the Blue Nile, which is one of the two tributaries of the Nile. So that supplies about 80% of the water in the Nile during the rainy season. And as you know, the Nile flows north. And Egypt's worry is that it will reduce the flow of the Nile, the source of about 90% of all of Egypt's freshwater supply. So the stakes are very high. Ethiopia sees the hydroelectric dam as it's a national project. It'll bring them to a new power level and economic level in Africa and in the world. Sudan wants the less expensive electricity and expanded agricultural production, and that is why they've pretty much sided with Ethiopia. But Egypt perceives a possible loss of water as really an existential threat, and they fear for the freshwater supplies. Now, this is 10 years in the making, and it just started getting refilled by Ethiopia without negotiation from all three parties, including Ethiopia. So that's what's going on here.
So, Pam, the issue, as you say, is in many ways an existential threat. It's about more than just filling up a reservoir. In many ways, this dam brings up water rights issues that ultimately could have tremendous impacts on economies, on the power in the region. What kind of regional power shift could this create in northern Africa?
Yes, this is a $4.5 billion dam, by the way. And if you look at the history, and it's important to do that, Egypt controlled the Nile for thousands of years. And so this changes a certain balance of power. It puts Ethiopia in the driver's seat in many ways. And the Biden administration just this week, U.S. Ambassador Linda Thomas-Greenfield said, look, the Horn of Africa, which of course is the Ethiopia part, is at an inflection point, and Ethiopia's prime minister on Friday tried to reassure Egypt and Sudan that the filling of this new dam will not inflict any harm. But it's 80% complete, by the way, and it expects to reach full generation capacity in about 2 years, by 2023. So it will be the largest hydroelectric dam, and it does shift the balance of power. Ethiopia and Sudan say they have the right to exploit the Nile waters to further their economies. They're in desperate straits, and the dam gives Ethiopia economic and political clout, but it really worries Egypt. I
feel like you and I could talk about water wars and these struggles ad nauseum.
Look at where we are, the Middle East and the Horn of Africa.